town where the suits all grind. There's a lawyer with a vision, one of a kind. He's the Aussie overlawd. He'll fight for your rights, and he's got his own channel shining bright. From the courtroom to the web, he's got it all. Sharing legal knowledge, answering the call. He breaks it down in a language we all understand. The Aussie overlawd taking a stand. With his Aussie charm and his legal know-how, he's the hero we need.
And good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to this episode of the Law News and Laughter podcast. I will be perfectly blunt, people. This will be a time waster episode. So if you don't want to waste your time, feel free to come back tomorrow. I feel like I could pass out at any second, to be perfectly honest. I have no idea what the hell is going on. I woke up. I struggled to get out of bed. Probably didn't help that I had a 6-year-old's knee in my back because she decided to crawl into bed with me last night. And then got her up, got her off to school, came home, thought I was going to spew, and then just nothing. I haven't had caffeine, I haven't had coffee, I haven't ingested anything just in case. I feel like I've been hit by a freaking freight train. I'm starting to feel like I'm just, like, getting old. Fine, did I say? Hello, sup to you too. Did the train have markings of boobs on it? No, because surprisingly, like, I'm tired, but, like, the few times that I felt like this before, it hasn't been as a result of losing sleep. And to be fair, it's not like I didn't get sleep last night. And I don't know. I feel like maybe Mayweather just came in and just clocked me one. Hey, Neo Dark Matter, how you doing? So, yeah, I'm just going to, like, fumble my way through this. Some variation of man flu or just old and boomerish. Probably a bit of both. Had a great stream last night. Wound up waking up with an 8 out of 10 migraine. Feel for you. Right back at you. Aussie had the infamous virus. God, I hope not. Don't sleep very well when the kids crawl into bed. No. And I mean, look, yes, my back's out of sorts as a result, but I don't think that that's really what's, Wait, what? Hydration. Look, I probably should hydrate, but, somebody has a case of Mondays. Yeah, well, deliberately we have a easy going Monday morning at the firm just to ease into the week, and because it provides a buffer against, those people that decide that everything is important and they must have everything answered half an hour before you open your doors. Yeah. So I don't deal with those people on Monday. That time of the month, God, I hope not. Did you see that story about? Oh no, you know what? I don't know that I want to do it. Basically, frozen sticks of tomato paste in order to simulate certain things taking place, and I'm just like, why? Sure, it wasn't the elbow from the autistic kid. He got the drop on you. Oh. So glad you didn't wake up at 5 a.m., not have feeling in your left for an hour. Holy shit, Jason. Did you go to an ER? Maybe a slow burning cold. Kiddo does go to school. They always bring back stuff from other kids. We've had something going around for ages. Yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me because they're petri dishes. They really are. And for some reason, even when she gets sick, she like bounces around the house and it's like, I'm sick. And then when it hits her mother and we're knocked for 6. And it's like, oh, for God's sakes. Soup. I don't really do soup. The only soup that I really do is cream of chicken, and getting a whole chicken into the mincer is really difficult. Hydrate, try to get some more sleep, you'll feel better. It could be some form of burnout, or you could be coming down with something. Look, burnout's a distinct possibility. I just got out of audit month, which is basically where the bar association crawls up my backside to make sure that I've been doing everything right. And when I say that the month is over, I mean that my bit's done. They still have to come in and do their internal audit, and then I get the colonoscopy. Wait, what was that? Did see that. Yeah, that's messed up. What's messed up? L5 to S1 disc pushes into the spinal cord and sciatic nerves. Refuse the spinal fusion surgery. That'll put me in more pain than I'm already in. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Hopefully, there's some sort of light in the end of the tunnel for you on that. At some point, I've got to deal with this thing on my arm as well. I think it's just an ingrown hair, but I've just been putting it off. So, one of the benefits of my job is we have medics that will just hook us up to an IV bag and it does wonders. I've been looking at getting some of those like liquid IV drinks and that sort of thing. Like I know it's not the same thing, but yeah, I do not know. Have you seen that Afro Man has updated his hit because I got hired to be about Hunter Biden? Oh no shit, has he? I didn't know that, but thank you for the information. Alright, let's see if we can have a look at a couple of things that may or may not get my blood pressure up. I'm going to play the opener simply because hopefully that might give me a little bit more energy. So I'll see you all in about, 45 seconds? Okay. Sorry, it won't be a second. Oh, for crying out loud. Apparently there's issues with the phone at my regional office as well. Fan-friggin-tastic. If you can find the IV in the bottled drinks, get one, but dilute it with water 50-50 mix. It'll help a lot. Kathy Trout dropping a membership. Appreciate that. Off it goes to Porcelain Thunder. Yay. Not okay with pig and human bones in my body just yet. That's fair. You were meant to... I can't even get my words out. You were meant to start working an hour ago. Well, yeah. Pauline Hanson going over to trial over hate speech. Look, possibly. I figured we'd start with the Canadian hate speech. Because apparently they're putting people under house arrest for fear of committing a hate crime in the future. Canada apparently is trying to one-up the Australian government and just go that little bit further in terms of thought crime. Justice Minister Arifa Virani has defended a new power in the online harms bill to impose house arrest on someone who is feared to commit a hate crime in the future, even if they have not done so yet already. Yeah. That's some precog bullshit right there. A person could be made to wear an electronic tag if the Attorney General requests it or is ordered by a judge to remain at home, the bill says. Mr. Virani, who is the Attorney General as well as Justice Minister, how is that not a conflict of interest. It said it's important that any peace bond be carefully calibrated, saying it would have to meet a high threshold to apply. But he said that the new power, which would require the Attorney General's approval as well as a judge's, could prove very, very important to restrain the behaviour on the person with a track record of hateful behaviour who may be targeting certain people or groups. 1984 in real life? Yep. That's what it feels like. Pre-crime? Yep. Love a nice due process. Oh, yeah. Don't you? Yeah. See you, clerk. Strange case is about one politician telling another politician to pack her bags and go back to Pakistan. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot Pauline did that. Yeah, we can talk about that. If there is a genuine fear of escalation, and then an individual or group could come forward and seek a peace bond against them and prevent them from doing certain things. The subject of thought crimes was a movie a few years ago. I am actually not 100% sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. Hate speech. I'll take 10 things that can't be done. Thank you, Brian. That is hugely appreciated, and I'm gonna have to do something about that in a second. Hope you get to go. Very much appreciate it, Brian. Very much appreciate it. Look, fingers crossed. I'm still like it's touch and go, but in any event, I will put it to good use. Thank you so much. Fetch the dog. I shall fetch the dog, and I shall. What else am I going to do? Probably have a shot. Although I mean, it's. What the hell? It's 10 in the morning. Why not? Anyway, all right. I think we saw Hayden's brain short circuit when he saw that. A little bit, yeah. I'll be back in a minute.
What?
Okay, and I think we're good. I just need to switch across to Doggo Cam. God, she did not want to come in here. I need... Why does the dog cam not have a... Where's the dog cam gone? Dog cam, Labracam. Why are you not activating? Okay, there we go. All right, news, Doggo. All right, the only thing that sucks about this is that I don't have the chat. So if there's anything that's of importance or it's anything, someone's going to have to flag me. Okay. The Bucky's glass with the best Hayden's. Because why the hell not? Brian, very much appreciate the support. Because I was sitting here yesterday thinking, what can I possibly do to bring in like money from outside sources? How can I I know that I need to be doing evergreen content and things that are going to be of interest to people because I still can't believe I've almost hit 100,000 views this month. In the last 30 days, 100,000 people have watched stuff that I've done. Like, be it a regular video, be it a short, whatever else. Like, it's a massive milestone for me, given that I hit a million views, earlier in the month, I think? So, chat scroll was doubled up anyway. Was it? Alright. Oh, that's gotta help the need dispute. Whew. Alright. Thank you so much, Brian. Very much appreciate that. 2 stories from the tornadoes in DMs, one local, the other CNN. Okay. Stream tight snipe people, geeks and gamers do it daily. Hey, Shani. Water back? No, not so much. I have some leftover cider. That's better. Okay. Oh, that might actually have been what I needed. Thank you. Other Lord tubers have about 4 hours on him, mimosas and all. No shit. Really? I blue screen in real time. Did I really? Interesting. Alright. Wonder what the golfing girls are up to these days. It's a damn good question. Your stream last night helped pass the night away while working, so thank you. You're very welcome. Dude. You are very, very welcome. Don't forget to grift hard. I will be perfectly honest. I hate grifting. You know why? Do you know why I hate grifting? It's because I feel like I've come to know most of you. Like, for everyone that's in chat, I recognize the names, I say hello. It's almost like the parasocial thing started to go the other way, and it's like, I feel like I'm holding up my hand and begging from friends. And it's like, I'm not sure how happy I am about that. I try to never miss a stream of yours, but if I can't see you live, I'm always part of the replay crew. Appreciate it. Bill has got a bill. Look, it's true. I think the problem is that it's the same thing as when I started out in law. I got way too emotionally invested in certain things, and I cost myself a lot of money starting out when I started out in law because it was literally, I've gotten to know this person, I know the situation, maybe I should discount this bill, maybe I should. I'm a fucking moron is what I am. Maybe you should ignore us in chat so attention seekers will be forced to super chat you. I kind of feel like that will come with time. Like, once there's more people in chat, once the chat's scrolling and that sort of thing. Feel free to call me an enemy if that helps. Do I need to find and resend the monkey dance clip? No, but I mean, because probably sometime today what I need to do is I need to sit down and plan out some evergreen content. Because, as I said, it's great having people here for the lives. Absolutely adore having you all here so that we can chat and we can go back and forth, banter, all that sort of stuff. Offer your friends. Oh, Ashley Casey. Appreciate that. That's majorly awesome. Thank you. Travel Shekels. Lovely. Oh, hang on. I was wondering why the screen was so damn small. I had it on studio mode again. Wait, why did you read hers and not Brian's? Siri, what the fuck are you doing? Same here, I hate asking for help. Yeah. Planning, what a novel concept. Oh, I know, right? Hayden, that's your problem. You're too nice. You need to find a middle ground between being nice and being a jerk. Gotta tell my wife I'm on studio mode. That's why it's small. Genius. Series sexist. But no, those of you that have been around for the research episodes where we go through 1 out of 10 and look at the videos that have blown up and all that sort of stuff. Whoa, Tess. Dropping another 20. Thank you very much. Oh, apparently I needed to let it play fully first. Apparently I shouldn't be doing that while overtired and having had a shot. But thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ghost dropping the dog emojis. The height wall isn't on this page. I've just noticed there's a few things that aren't on this page. So, thank you so much, Tess. And you're new here. Fabulous. Thank you for being here. Well, as you're new here, I'm not sure if you've caught any previous shows, but basically what I do is I try and bring attention to the lesser known legally based news stories, or the ones that just leave you scratching your head and go, what the fuck? Unfortunately, there's been some horrifying ones in the last month. The police sniper that took out a 2-year-old girl that really saw no consequences whatsoever. At some point next week, I'm going to start doing the Montgomery trial on a weekly basis because I need to get through that just so I can get that off my plate and off my mind. And then we do things like the woman that got a wedgie at Disneyland to the point where her husband sued for the lack of being able to screw her. So we try and cover all bases, really. But as you will learn, if you don't already know, you'll soon learn, I am very big on free speech because it's something that here in Australia we do not have and that I am desperate to institute. And eventually Siri actually picks up the slack. So, what's that? Dollar bill, y'all. So, okay. Now, where did I get to with this? What was it? Oh, yeah, no. The research episodes. So when I do those research episodes and I see the ones that take off and that sort of thing and that really go viral and whatever else, it's all evergreen content. It's the Mr. Beast pre-planned videos. It's the... Did the dog swallow a watermelon? No, she's just that pudgy. Nick Starr is covering the autistic kid right now. Ties in with the wireless trial. Same prosecutor. No shit. Huh. Apparently Albo got booed at the Women's March. I did see that. I'm struggling to give a shit because as far as I'm concerned, the dipshit needs to be out. Every time I hear that riff, it reminds me of the MechWarrior Online various kill confirm horns you can buy. Huh. I'm not fat. It's the fur. Poofy. Torin! Cheers, buddy. Believe you should support your friend's business if you can. You're providing a service. I think your friends feel the same way I do. Cheers. Much appreciated. Well, I'm glad that I'm actually providing something of value to people. So, cover the cops arresting the FBI when they played dress up yesterday. What would be the point of that, though, Jason? Because the simple fact of the matter is, it was just cops arresting FBI agents that were looking to make people concerned, shall we say? I mean, I'm sorry, but at the same time, it's like you can't convince me that those weren't that wasn't completely planned. Okay, so back to this new power that apparently... Do I want to dignify that with a... Do I want to... Yeah, alright. In your DMs, play it. Of course it is. Hang on. 1 second, peeps. Wait, is it? I don't think it is in the DMs. The last thing that I've got from you was the tornado outbreak in Oklahoma. And I love that Siri's got that thing on her where if it's less than $4.99, she won't read it out. Did you ever look at the Vic police report on officers that were charged? Actually, you know, I don't think I did. Yes, by all means, people, go and subscribe to Torin. Okay. Focus. Squirrel. Focus. Come on, peeps. We've got the focus emoji in the chat for a reason. Can't hear her reading anything out. The stingy one she wouldn't have read out because I'm a little bit of a prick like that. I followed Bronca a little bit on that. And if it's less than $5, she doesn't read it out. I do, but she doesn't. Okay, so if there is a genuine fear of escalation, then an individual or group could come forward and seek a peace bond against individuals to prevent them from doing certain things. So basically in Canada, if you say something that someone doesn't like, and if you make a conditional threat or some shit like that, they can supposedly put you on house arrest now. Or once this passes, I should say. There's a reason why the government here hasn't abolished the First Amendment, because the second will be used promptly. I can understand that. Okay, hang on. I'll rack off. How is that still playing the audio? Now I'm confused as fuck. 1 second. You don't hear anything? Good. I've got the weird things from Twitter playing in my ear. Daddy called me a Democrat! Mediocre. Ouch. Look, and to be perfectly honest, I'm acutely aware that I rarely ever provide any real in-depth insight, but Bronco doesn't read, as he calls them, drive-by super chats. Yes. So, okay. The peace bond could have conditions that include not being close to a synagogue or a mosque, he said. It could also lead to restrictions on internet usage and behavior that would help de-radicalize people who are learning these things online and acting. So basically, it would assist them in re-educating individuals. Fixed and sent, now you can dance for your dollars.
Dance, monkey. Dance for your dollar.
Could have done without.
I do have to cut that down and actually put it in a video for that goes into the show. Mao did that in China, so did a certain Austrian painter. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly. So this was one of the things that my politics professor at university told me. Don't look at it as left and right ends of the spectrum. Look at it as a circle. You either start on the left and the right of the circle, and the more you make your way around the circle, you actually wind up being very similar at the top. Like, either way, you wind up in totalitarianism where someone is in charge and controls exactly what is said. So, oh, hang on. I should probably actually show the super chat, given that he was kind enough to send the $2. Thank you, Stingy. Before they took the gold rings, they took away their guns. That would help de-radicalize. Mr. Vraney said the bill would strike a balance, though, and would mean that content that is awful but lawful would remain online. But who decides what is awful and unlawful? Sorry, what is awful but lawful? Aussie Overlaw'd. Awful but lawful. Nah, because I still like legally opinionated arsehole. Want the one of the YouTube paraglider that fell the 85 feet out of the air? I think we looked at that yesterday. Or I might have. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we watched that yesterday. There's a lot of bad stuff out of there, but this is not about the bad stuff. This is a much higher level, he said. Bill C-63 is designed to curb the proliferation of hate online, but it also establishes a new hate crime offence, which would carry a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. Should clarify. This bill is supposed to be about stuff happening online. So this is a hate crime committed online. So if even such a thing exists, it's text on a page. But apparently that warrants life imprisonment. What really makes me mad is Prince Harry is working on getting rid of the First Amendment. Oh, God. Totalitarianism doesn't know a political party, just those with power and those without. Yep. Trudeau want to go after those who call him a... That was close. It must mean when you kill someone while shouting about about hating their race. No, because all of this it's an online bill. It's specifically in relation to stuff that takes place online. He said the hate crime offence would only be applied if coupled with another crime, and the life sentence would only be applied in the most serious of cases, not, for example, for mischief to a garage door. What's really Wait, what? So it's an aggravator? May 5th, 1789, that's all I'm saying. Sticks and stones might break my bones, but words and lines get you in prison. Angel looks like a heavy breathing cat meme. Yeah. Angel, do you think you can at least turn around so people are looking at your face I know I woke you up, but how did you delete your Twitter? I think there is actually a button in the settings in Twitter so that you can do so. But why? What did you do? How do I do mischief to a garage door online? That's a damn good question. Maybe do mischief to the garage door and then take photos of it and post it online? Bill would also make online platforms swiftly take down child essay material. Notice how they hide behind that. Oh, whenever it's about censorship, we want to make sure that we're taking down child essay material. Like, that always seems to be the front line thing. And don't get me wrong, I have no issues with removing that filth from the web. Tammy, dropping a $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Sorry I'm late. No worries. You're here. That's what matters. I have no problems with that sort of filth being removed from the internet. But the fact that they hide behind that particular issue whenever it comes to censorship pisses me the F off. Because it's not censorship to remove criminal material. That's not the same thing as speech. It's not the same thing as ideas. It's not the same thing. It's literally photos of children in compromised positions. You cannot put that in the same category as saying that you dislike someone of a particular race or a specific ethnicity or a specific religion. It's not the same fucking thing. They'll hide behind anything. Doggo says she's annoyed because you annoyed her. She's not looking at the camera. She says you have to pay her with treats to make her look at the camera. Actually, I'll be perfectly honest. I haven't been giving her any treats, and we've had like 10 or 12 super chats coming since I got it. Yeah, that woke you up. There you go, fatty. No, CP is not the same thing as someone calling me a fatty. And now watch her promptly go back to sleep. Lazy turd. The bill's predecessor... Oh, hang on. I've missed a... The bill would also make online platforms... but the government stepped back from forcing platforms to take down hate speech within 24 hours, introducing other tools to deal with this, including through a complaint to a new ombudsperson. Oh my god, they're retconning the word ombudsman. And there she goes. The bill's predecessor, Bill C-36, died before the last election, and the subsequent consultation would have forced social media platforms to take down a wide range of content deemed harmful within 24 hours. Mr. Varney said that the current bill followed studies of the experiences of other countries, including Britain, France, and Germany. From what time period? Which have produced similar legislation. Some have had to reverse course after challenges or criticism. Since it was published on Monday, some lawyers and constitutional experts have raised fears that Bill C-63 could chill free speech. No shit, you think? The bill would allow people to file complaints to the Canadian Human Rights Commission over what they perceive as hate speech online, including, for example, off-colour jokes by comedians. Off-colored jokes by comedians. People found guilty of posting hate speech could have to pay the victims up to $20,000 in compensation. But experts, including internet law professor Michael Geist, have said that even a threat of a civil complaint with a lower burden of proof than a court of law and a fine could have a chilling effect on freedom of expression. I would guess Germany's influence. Only supposed to tell jokes of colour now. Apparently. Big story about it a few years ago. The comedian won. Guess they don't want to see that happen again. Comedy is now crime. Yes, it is a crime to laugh at anybody but a straight white male. It's not just Canada. That's the problem, Dark Lotus. We're seeing this globally. I wasn't kidding when I said that Australia is the petri dish for the rest of the world, because after we've seen what's happened with the drafts for the disinformation and misinformation bill, it's like they're all $20,000 and or life in prison, pretty much, because it's $20,000 in the civil sense, and then you've got or is that paid on top of the people found guilty? No, sorry, it's part of the criminal thing. So you get life in prison and you pay $20,000. Scotland already did this recently. Police have been overloaded with reports. Oh yeah, but did you see that the guy in charge of Scotland's got ousted as of this morning? Apparently, the coalition that he was leading has fallen apart and is expected to resign. Whether he will or not is another thing, but it'll be interesting to see. Because, surprisingly, having someone in that hates the country that they represent might just be an issue. Mr. Rainey said, as Justice Minister, he was sworn to uphold the Constitution, which includes freedom of expression. Bullshit. What you're going to do is use every opportunity to end run around it. Of course, I'm concerned about any chilling of freedom of expression. I heard those concerns to a great extent, he said. Yeah, because people bleed on about it, because it's important to them. What are you licking now? He said the bill includes various safeguards to allow the Human Rights Commission to throw out frivolous complaints, including a kind of summary dismissal mechanism if a complaint does not hit the threshold for hatred, or if someone files a complaint in bad faith. Costs could also be issued. Mr. Rainey said that for those categories of harm online, that would not need to be taken down within 24 hours. He would expect the response of the regulator, ombudsperson, or other body examining the complaint to be prompt. Fears have been expressed that they could take months or even years to adjudicate on whether or not a post should be removed. Time is of the essence, and we know how horrible material can go viral very, very quickly, he said. He added that for this reason, it's critical that the bill progresses through the Parliament to committee swiftly so the government can look at amendments. Frickin' bite me. Where, do they have a link to it? Yeah. That's got nothing, it's not about... See, like I said, they hide behind the CP argument. Hang on, so what is it? Bill 3, C63. I want to see the phrasing. So what are we looking at here? Bill C63, Canada reattempts to address online harms. On February 26, 2024, the Government of Canada introduced the Bill C63, the Online Harms Act, with the purpose of promoting the online safety of persons in Canada. Bill C63 would enact the Harms Act and make amendments to the Criminal Code, the Canadian Human Rights Act, and an act... what the fuck? An act respecting the mandatory reporting of internet child CP by persons who provide an internet service. I'm fairly confident you could have renamed that and it would have been better. Bill C63 follows the first legislative attempt to address the online harms. Target 7 categories of harmful content: intimate content communicated without consent, revenge porn; content that sexualizes or victimizes a child or re-victimizes a survivor. Okay. Content that induces a child to harm themselves. Okay. Content used to bully a child. I'm not okay with cyberbullying, but I kind of feel like that's... I've never been okay with the heavy-handed description of what counts as bullying and what doesn't. But that's just me. Under the pretext it's for your own good, they strip you of all your rights. Yep. Harvard just ripped down the American flag and put up a Palestinian one. I'm sorry, what now? It's almost like they forget which country they're in. Define frivolous and hate speech, please. Yeah, well, that's why I'm having a look at this. Writers have been replaced by ChatGPT bots. No, I don't think that's... No. Hang on, have we got the actual... Via the original document this article came from. No, I just want the... I just want the text of the bill. What if I go to a view original? That's the reason you're not going to Harvard now. Sorry, that's funny. This better not be in French. In summary, Part 1 of this act enacts the Online Harms Act, which the purpose is to, amongst other things, promote the safety of online persons in Canada, reduces harms caused by persons to persons in Canada. As a result of harmful content online, and ensure that operators of social media services in respect of the act applies. Okay, don't care about that. Financial Administration Act, consequential. Okay, so what I'm interested in, Part 2, Criminal Code. Okay. Definition of offence in Section 183 of the Criminal Code is amended by adding the following subparagraph. Section 30001, 320.001, offence motivated by hatred. Terms and conditions of the order made under section... Advocating genocide. Okay, every person who advocates or promotes genocide is guilty of an indictable offence and liable for imprisonment for life. I am advocating for the genocide of all of my imaginary friends from my childhood. Lock me up. Never going to Harvard, but that was beside the point. 55% of Colombia are foreign students, and at least 1/4 of the protesters aren't from Colombia. An indictable offence and liable imprisonment for a term of not more than 5 years. Indictable offence. Okay, so this is more of an amendment bill than anything else. Hatred. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into the definitions. Okay. The act is amended by adding the following in alphabetical order. Hatred means the emotion that involves detestation or vilification and that is stronger than disdain or dislike. For greater certainty, the communication of a statement does not incite or promote hatred for the purpose of this section solely because it discredits, humiliates, hurts, or offends. Here we go. What is a hate crime? An offence motivated by hatred. Everyone who commits an offence under this act or any other act of parliament, or any other act of parliament. Oh, look, you can probably commit an offence motivated by hatred against a tree. If the commission of the offence is motivated by hatred based on race, national or ethnic origin, language, colour, religion, sex, age, mental or physical disability, sexual orientation or gender identity or expression, it is guilty of an indictable offence and liable for imprisonment for life. If you rob someone of a scratch ticket out of their hand, and they can prove that you did it because you disliked that person's ethnicity, race, gender, sexual orientation, life in prison. That is so fucking open-ended that it could be applied to so many different things. It's a hate crime when you laugh about the cucks who put tampons in the men's bathrooms. Apparently. Definition of hatred for the purpose of subsection 1. Hatred has the same meaning as put. For greater certainty, the commission of an offence under this act or any other act of parliament is not for the purpose of this section motivated by hatred based on any of the factors mentioned in subsection 1, solely because it discredits, humiliates, hurts, or offends the victim. Fear of hate propaganda, offence, or hate crime. A person may, with the Attorney General's consent, lay an information before the provincial court judge if the person fears on reasonable grounds that the person will commit an offence under section 318 or any of subsections 319(1) or to 2.1 or an offence under section... Oh, God. A provincial court judge who receives information may cause the parties to appear before the court. Adjudication, duration, extension, refusal to enter into recognizance. Excuse me. Okay, so basically what they're saying is that someone can apply to the court, basically to have someone placed under house arrest. That's what we were talking about earlier. Sounds perfectly reasonable, Hayden. Being from New Zealand good enough for life? Who will define more specific parameters of the new hate crime laws? From the sounds of it, it's going to be either judge-made or they're going to have to do further amendments because some of this is very wishy-washy. But, you know, they love having vague things where they can put people behind bars for it. If the provincial court judge before whom the parties appear is satisfied by evidence adduced from the informant that they have reasonable grounds for fear, the judge may order that the defendant enter into recognizance to keep the peace and be of good behaviour for a period of not more than 12 months. So they can put them under a good behaviour bond for 12 months as well. So what you're saying is you can't say anything online or to the face of someone twerking in front of a child, or you get life imprisonment. Do they not realise it's just make more people disappear? I can't comment on that. I have an amendment idea to defund the government. He hates me. Put him in jail, pretty much, is what it boils down to. Kathy Trout, take my money since I'm your new enemy. Thank you, Kathy. Appreciate that. See, I generally consider myself to be a pretty likable guy. And it's only really when I talk about the spicy stuff that I get any sort of, like, nastiness. Which is generally why I don't talk about Trump or Biden or anything like that on stream. Because the last few vitriolic comments that I've received have all been about that sort of stuff. And, like, you get them frequently, but at the same time, it's like, fuck off. So, if the court is satisfied the defendant was convicted previously of any offence referred to it, so if it's a subsequent offence, the judge can order the defendant to enter into recognizance for a period of not more than 2 years. So they can put you on house arrest for 2 years. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. Some I think an assault committed in the name of Free Palestine aren't going to have this applied to them. Possibly not. Call up the Canadian government tomorrow and make them fear words. I'd love to see them come to arrest me in the US, and I'm just an asshole to challenge them. So the things that the judge can do if someone provides enough evidence that they're fearful of their life. It's not even that they're in fear of their life. It's that they're in fear that someone may commit a hate crime. Federal judge may add reasonable conditions, including wearing an electronic monitoring device, return to and remain in place at the residence for specific times, abstain from consumption of drugs except in accordance with medical prescription of alcohol or any other intoxicating substances, provide for the person's analysis a sample of bodily substance to a peace officer or probation officer or someone designated. Oh, so yeah, they can force blood tests and alcohol tests and drug tests. Provide for the purpose of analysis, bodily substance, abstain from communicating directly or indirectly with any person identified in the recognizance, or refrain from going to any place specified in the recognizance except in accordance with the conditions specified in the recognizance that the judge considers necessary. So basically, they can ban you from associating with individuals. If you speak out against the government, that will be labelled as hate, right? If they can twist it, yeah. If they can twist it so that it's covered by one of the very broad topics as to how you would define the hate, yeah. Afraid someone may do something to you in the future? Yes. That's the main issue that we have here, is that this is effectively pre-crime. Because if you say something online that may lead them to think you're going to do something in the future, they can put you on house arrest. And apparently order drug tests, blood tests, and for you to abstain from communicating from an individual. Have freedom of association here, telling you that the Second Amendment is important. Well, see, we're supposed to have freedom of association here too. US most likely will be the next country to enact similar thought crime laws. Well, they're pushing it here. They've tabled it in Canada. How about mental tests? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it's basically Minority Report, except there's no precognition. It's literally just the government sees it and says that you're going to do something in the future, so we're putting you on a house arrest. Provincial court judge shall consider whether it is desirable in the interest of the defendant's safety or any other person to prohibit the defendant from possessing any firearm, crossbow, prohibited weapon, prohibited device, ammunition, prohibited ammunition, or explosive substance, or all of those things. As if that's not just going to be a rubber stamp on any one of these. If the provincial court judge adds a condition described in subsection 7 to recognizance, the judge shall specify how things that are to be referred to in that subsection that are in the defendant's possession shall be surrendered, disposed of, detained, stored. Oh, hang on. Read the wording of that. I almost skipped over that. If the judge adds a condition described in section 7, so if the judge bans for the person from having firearms, the judge shall specify in the recognizance how the things referred to in that section that are in the defendant's possession shall be surrendered, disposed of, so they can order their disposal or destruction. So if someone goes to court, says that I'm fearful because this person said something online, not only can they put you under house arrest, they can take whatever weapons you legally own and destroy them and dispose of them. Detained, stored, or dealt with, and how the authorizations, licenses, and registration certificates that are held by the defendant shall be surrendered. That's why they want you... That's what they want. They want you unarmed and weak. Hey, Bush. This is a roundabout way to red flag someone. Holy shit. Yeah. If the provincial court does not add a condition described in subsection 7 to a recognizance, the judge shall include a record of the statement of the reasons for not adding it. So it's literally, if this person says something online, does something, whatever else, and they're put under house arrest, there's a bias towards saying that the guns or other weapons or ammunition should be removed. And if they're not, the judge has to detail and has to provide an explanation as to why they decided not to require that. Variance of conditions. Provincial court judge may, on application from the informant, the Attorney General or the defendant vary the existing conditions. Portion subsection 81031 of the Act before replacing, designation specifications, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure this is all very important, but it seems like it's in relation to bodily samples, destruction of samples, samples at regular intervals, prohibition on the use of bodily substances, birth certificate, related amendments. An offence under section 320.1001 of the Criminal Code, which was the offence, the hate crime offence. If the offence is motivated by hatred, is also an offence set out in section 1 or 2 of the schedule. So if you're found to have committed one automatically, sorry, if you're found to have committed one under 320.1001, you're automatically found to have committed the same offence under the Criminal Records Act. Nice. An offence under 320.1001 of the Criminal Code, if the offence is motivated by hatred, is also an offence set out in section 1 to 3 of the schedule. If the offence is motivated by hatred, is an offence set out... Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, so these must be all the different ways that it interacts with other legislation. Without going into what the Corrections and Conditional Release Act is, or the Youth Criminal Justice Act, Youth Justice Court has exclusive jurisdiction to make orders against a young person under sections 83.3, 810, 810.01, 810.012. Oh, God. Oh, and they've added in, recognizance, fear of hate propaganda, offence, or hate crime. Motivated by hatred, this is thought crime. Yes, Boosh, that's what I've been going on about for the last 40-odd minutes, is that this entire thing is just, it's all just hate crime. That's exactly what it is. Sorry, no, it's not hate crime, it's thought crime. Because it's literally someone going to the government or the government of their own... You just got it, fair enough. Literally, this whole act is about making sure that they can put someone either on house arrest or potentially behind bars if you commit a crime that is motivated by hatred as an aggravator. And as I said, the way that is worded, if they can prove, or on the ballot, or if they can prove that you commit a particular other crime on the basis that it's against somebody because of a particular race, gender, ethnicity, whatever else you want to call it, something as simple as, like, grabbing a phone out of someone's hand, if they can prove that you did it because that person was black, or that person was Muslim, or if that person was white, it's up to life imprisonment. What if I said I hated a bad group of people? What would happen then? It's a good question. Every time to close the eyes, click the heels, and wish to shift to a parallel universe. Well, hopefully you wind up in a better one than here, Tammy. I mean, I still like the idea that we're in a tangential universe, thanks to CERN switching on that machine a few years ago. Because things just sort of kept getting crazier and crazier after a certain point. Alright. First aid subsection 1.5 of the Act to amend, don't care about that. All that. Okay, if you're gonna snore, at least snore quietly. What if you hate everybody? Probably all the more reason that you're gonna wind up behind bars, I suppose. Okay, don't care about any of this? Prohibition of disclosure of results. So that's all about the blood tests or whatever. Canadian Human Rights Act. Okay, I'm pretty certain that will be pretty certain that'll be the main issue there. There's a dog who hasn't farted yet. Yeah, tell me about it. If you see the camera go blank and you see my like feet just running out of here, you'll understand what happened. Keep saying if it's mandatory to give up your guns, only the gangbangers will have the guns. True. You sang karaoke. Awesome. So yeah, this is some bullshit. Justice Minister Defense House arrest people for people feared to commit a crime in the future. It is literally for people feared to commit a crime moving forward. Holy shit, this was from February. How has this just come up now? Minority Report. Yeah, pretty much is what it boils down to. But what I found interesting in there is that if someone approaches the court and says, we are fearful that this person is going to commit a hate crime in the future, that the judge can order them to be basically restrained within their own home, have any and all weapons, not just guns, not just whatever else, removed, either detained or disposed of. And then how do you prove that you're not going to commit a hate crime in the future? That is a burden that nobody could reach. Report of color minority is offensive. Oh. That one actually hurt, Pause and Thunder. Guilty until dead to prevent you from committing a crime in the future. Yep. How many felons still have guns? Don't most of them? But anyway. And then we had this one. Exeter University student disciplined after flatmate overheard him saying that veganism is wrong. He was told by letter that he'd been found guilty of harassment and that he would be expelled if he breached any further university rules. University of Exeter, so UK, has reportedly threatened to expel a philosophy student after he was overheard in his own room saying that veganism is wrong and gender fluidity is stupid. Under that Canadian thing, this guy may be behind bars for life. Just call the party Ingsoc and get it over with. I know, right? Please tell me this article is just someone's way of punking us. I wish. You're so wrecked, lol. I'm seeing 8 of you right now. Yeah, but I'm not. Like, I'm wrecked because I'm just. I feel like death warmed up. You're wrecked because you're plastered. Or yeah. So, aces. Robert Invenson claimed that he was formally disciplined after a student next door in his halls of residence reported his comments as offensive and transphobic. Mr. Invenson told the Mail on Sunday newspaper that he was hauled before the university officials and put on a behavioural contract for the remainder of his studies over his remarks made during a private phone call to a friend. So not only was the person invading his privacy in his own damn room, veganism is murdering plants, technically plant murder is wrong. I would like to think so. Heard people's gender changes with the seasons now, apparently, says Jim. He was later informed by letter that he'd be found guilty of harassment and warned that he would be expelled if he breached any of the other university rules. In an interview with the Mail on Sunday, Mr. Invenson said that the incident took place when he was in his first year of studies in 2018 and that a university representative had banged on his door to tell him that a neighbour had complained. It was like the Stasi had come to my door. He stuck his foot in my door and said, "You've been saying some very offensive things." He then said he was dragged before the disciplinary hearing and questioned over his comments. The first thing they read out was that I had said veganism is wrong. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was mishearing them. Oi, back on camera. Come on. Well, people paid. It's literally only dogs. Get back on camera. Basically, his neighbour's a massive fucking pussy. Pretty much. I asked him to repeat it 3 or 4 times because I didn't believe I was sitting there for saying that veganism is wrong. It hurts me that in this country, freedom of speech can mean so little. It's shocking that a Russell Group university can act this way. He said he apologised to the officials for the disturbance, but maintained that he had his right to speak freely in his own room. I was totally private, apart from someone overheard me through a brick wall. University of Exeter has been approached for comment. Edward Skidelsky, director of the Committee for Academic Freedom, academics fighting to maintain free expression on the campus, said, "It's extraordinary that in 21st century Britain, eavesdroppers can be rewarded and a student punished for remarks made to a friend in the privacy of his own room." Was it Clown University? Were there actually any comments, or is that... No, I think that's the end of it. You know what the funny thing is? This article had to be pulled from an archive because, mysteriously, I believe that the original has disappeared. Hang on, let me just double check that because I couldn't find it. Maybe it was just a issue. Oh no, hang on, there it is. It's still there. Oh, I wanted to look at the free speech thing anyway. University student disciplined after saying veganism is wrong. Philosophy student overheard through the walls. Despite apologies from officials for the disturbance, Mr. Iverson maintained his right despite apologising, maintained his right to speak freely in his own room. It was totally private, blah, blah, blah. College at Cambridge University has cut its ties with an academic whose research interests include race, heredity and intelligence, and in its letter of termination implies that freedom of expression does not include freedom to challenge its DEI policies. No freaking way. When was this? April 22nd. Hang on. Cambridge and free to speech row over researchers' race realism blog. A college at the University of Cambridge has cut ties with an early career research fellow whose research interests lie in controversial topics including race, heredity, intelligence, and meritocracy. Dr. Kofness, a member of the university's Faculty of Philosophy who is currently being assisted by the Free Speech Union, is at the centre of two ongoing inquiries over a controversial blog post that he wrote about race and genetics, but has separately now had his research affiliation with Emmanuel College terminated. The college's decision followed the early career academic feeling he had no choice but to step down from all student-facing duties, which included teaching and marking examinations amid unhappiness among some students at his continued employment by the university. We see who rules the house, little Aussie and the Aussie dog. Yeah. Woman tried to kill a cop after she was caught stalking her ex and violating probation and restraining order. Charges were dropped. No shit. Oh, God. Where are we? The offending blog post titled A Guide to the Hereditarian Revolution argues for a culture of race realism that will crumble a central pillar of our moral political system, namely that there are no differences in talent between ethnicities. In a meritocracy, Dr. Kofness writes, black people would disappear from almost all high-profile positions outside of sport and entertainment. Put another way, if society were to stop fighting its war on nature, Harvard faculty would be recruiting from the best of the best students, which means the number of black professors would approach 0%. Fuck. Damn. When the piece first emerged in February, it prompted a furious reaction on campus. A petition for Dr. Kofness' removal from the institution was organised and quickly amassed over 1,000 signatures. Claims of hurt and upset were levelled at him by students. Chants of fire Nathan Kofness were heard at the campus protest, with one student even accusing him of having blood on his hands, while Emmanuel College's JCR released a statement condemning his racist views, and senior academics played to the gallery with some withering criticisms of his work. Bronwyn Everall, director of the University's Centre of African Studies, told the student newspaper Varsity that Kofness' presence was like having a flat earther at the physics faculty. Seems that DEI federal funding is a money grab on US college and university campuses. Writing on X, the history faculty director of undergraduate studies, Nicholas Guyot, said it is genuinely jaw-dropping that 19th century race theory is back in town. At an Emmanuel College town hall on the question of Kofness' employment, Lord Woolley, the principal of the Homerton's College, told students, I see it for what it is, abhorrent racism masquerading as pseudo-intellect. There is no place for bigots in institutions like this. The students, how do they know the earth isn't flat? See, the interesting thing is, they've said there is no place for bigots in institutions like this. That's why Darwin needs to hand out more awards for snowflakes. If there is genuine research being conducted, I would argue that it is the college principal that is being the bigot. Because you can't denounce and decry something just because you find it distasteful or yeah. Biggest of the wimps that get easily upset. Dr. Kofnis's race realism blog post isn't the first time the US-born researcher has tested the boundaries of academic freedom in an area of campus safetyatism. Following a separate row over a 2019 article in which he claimed there were gaps in IQ between different racial groups, their institution routinely teaches hatred towards whites and Jews. It's weird. Students protested against the fellow remaining on the college payroll. When he first was appointed to the university as a research associate in 2022, 1,200 people signed a petition to sack him from the post, which was funded by the Leverhulme Trust, a British philanthropy organisation. Following the outcry over his blog post, the Trust and Cambridge both launched urgent investigations. Back in February, the Master of Emmanuel College, Doug Chalmers, told irate students that we retain our commitment to freedom of thought and expression and accepted that he had an academic right enshrined by law to write about his views. Can bigots be of colour? Yes, bigots are frequently of colour. Bigots frequently come in all colours of the rainbow. I think that was well said. Super Nintendo Chalmers. Probably. On the same day, Professor Bhaskar Vera, Pro-Vice Chancellor of Education at Cambridge, issued a brief statement saying that freedom of speech within the law is a right that sits at the heart of the University of Cambridge. We encourage our community to challenge ideas that they disagree with and engage in rigorous debate, as well it should be done. Do research and prove me incorrect seems like a good paper. That's how it should have. That's what should have happened. Less than a month later, however, the mood music had changed. Faced with continuing protests, Professor Vera told students that he believed that Kofnis had crossed the line when it comes to concerns of freedom of speech, and that the university is now seeking legal advice on freedom of speech law. Although the university's inquiry and that of the trust are ongoing, on April 5th, Emmanuel College informed Dr. Kofnis by letter that they had terminated their relationship with him. The letter read, the committee first considered the meaning of the blog and concluded that it amounted to, or could reasonably be construed as amounting to, a rejection of diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Which he's entitled to do! The committee concluded that the core mission of the college was to achieve educational excellence, and that diversity and inclusion were inseparable from that. Bullshit! Educational excellence means striving to be the best, irrespective of what leg up you get, or whatever... Oh my god! Why? Thinking is hard, apparently. In fact, they're more prevalent in those greatly... Okay. Yesterday I was a furry, today I'm a white male. Racism in 2024 is not really racism compared to the awfulness of the 1950s. Silence the bigot. Committee got that. The ideas promoted by the blog therefore represented a challenge to the college's core values and mission. Yeah, okay. Fine. It's an employment contract. They can terminate him because they didn't like the work. Okay, fine. That's about as far as they can go, though. Want to hear diversity and inclusion triggers me in a gag reflex, not sure why. His treatment has concerned academics such as Peter Singer, the world-renowned professor of bioethics at Princeton University and editor of the Journal of Controversial Ideas. In an op-ed for Project Syndicate titled, Will Cambridge Support Free Speech?, Professor Singer took issue with the college's statement. These sentences he wrote imply that Emmanuel College, that at Emmanuel College, freedom of expression does not include the freedom to challenge its EDI policies, and that challenging them may be grounds for dismissal. That is an extraordinary statement for a tertiary institution to make. It is even more surprising given that the adoption of EDI policies is a relatively recent phenomenon. Emmanuel College's decision does not prevent Kofnis from continuing to hold his research fellowship with the Faculty of Philosophy. But that would cease to be the case if the university inquiry would have reached the same conclusion as the college. Welcome to university. Let's wash that brain. Let's whitewash that brain. The academic world will be watching what happens, he concluded. Were the University of Cambridge to dismiss Kofnis, it would sound a warning to students and academics everywhere. When it comes to controversial topics, even the world's most renowned universities can no longer be relied upon to stand by the commitment to defend freedom of thought and discussion. Speaking to the Times, cognitive psychologist and Harvard professor Steven Pinker, drew attention to Corfus's articles debunking the theory that Jews were selected for traits that spread their own influence. The theory, Pinker said, was a major source of support for the American alt-right, and Corfus had written sharply argued devastating refutations. So he's literally balanced in his views as to who he goes after. This professor probably has tenure, so they couldn't just get rid of him. They will use the DEI policies as a way to get rid of the tenure. While conceding that he had not read the blog post on race, Pinkner said it would seem irrelevant to what happens to be a violation of academic freedom. Unless there is a reason to suspect that he engaged in scholarly misconduct, a university should not investigate its scholars for the content of their opinions. At the FSU, we believe Corfus has exercised the Free Speech Union. We believe that he was exercising his right as an academic to freely explore controversial and unpopular topics. We hope the university will have the courage to respect the academic freedom, even if the student body demands otherwise. So DEI killed affirmative action, apparently. So. Two men in Orleans have been cited after a fight over loose pigs that neither of them owned or cared about or anything like that. Two men were cited in Orleans on early Friday evening over a fight over some pigs. Vermont State Police said they received a call about pigs blocking the road on Maple Street. They then began receiving multiple calls claiming two men were fighting in the same area. When officers responded, they found 37-year-old Ty Morrison of Orleans and 57-year-old Michael Sire of Brownington were the two men, and they were fighting over the pigs, which neither of them owned or managed. Police say that both Morrison and Sire engaged in violent, tumultuous behavior, and they were cited to appear in Orleans County Superior Court for aggravated disorderly conduct. Was there lipstick? God, I hope not. I'm just hoping there's footage of the pigs.
Two men were cited in Orleans earlier this evening after a fight over some pigs. Vermont State Police say they received a call about pigs blocking the road on Maple Hill Street. They then began receiving multiple calls claiming two men were fighting in the same area. When officers responded, they found that 37-year-old Ty Morrison of Orleans and 57-year-old Michael Sire of Brownington were the two men, and they were fighting over the pigs. Tumultuous Superior Quarterly conduct.
Oh, for God's sakes, I could have just played the video. I was hoping for actual pigs. Now I'm just disappointed. One part comes later when they're shoved through the system and come out completely unprepared for the career that they got their degree in. Yeah. Pigs blocking the streets, we'll tell the cops to move. Okay. Man arrested for Easter Bible belting of a Walgreens worker, according to cops. On Easter, the manager of a Walgreens store suffered a Bible belting because she was rude, according to the customer, who is now facing a felony battery charge. Police say Peter Owens, 35, went to the pharmacy on Sunday evening to purchase a pair of headphones. While at the Clearwater, Florida business, Owens got into a verbal altercation with the employee over the headphones, according to the criminal complaint. While Nicole Merck, the 36-year-old store manager, approached Owens, seen at the right, and asked him to leave the Walgreens, Peter used a brown Bible in his hand and struck her in the face one time before he exited the store. After the alleged Bible battery, police located Owens and took him into custody. After being read his rights, he reportedly admitted to striking Merck in the face one time with his Bible because she was rude to him. Peter stated that he didn't want to hit her, according to Officer Ryan Wall. The criminal charge against Owens was enhanced to a felony count since he had a 2020 conviction in Michigan for assault and battery, for which he was sentenced to a year of probation. Owens was released from county jail last night after posting a $5,000 bail. A judge ordered him to have no contact with Merck, and he must stay away from the Walgreens outlet. Former Vermont resident, the pig story is not surprising. Titty scream, Jesus heals you. According to his Facebook post, Owens works as a golf instructor and is a Wayne State University graduate. A Grosse Pointe, Michigan native, Owens now lives in Ellenton, a Gulf Coast city near Sarasota. So there you go.
Dance, monkey. Dance for your dollar.
3 Kenner police officers were shot during a standoff with a suspect, police say. 3 Kenner police officers were shot and wounded Sunday during a standoff with a suspect in 2 earlier shootings, according to Kenner Police Department. They said officers were called at around 9:45 a.m. to a residence in the 700 block of Farm Avenue, where they eventually entered a standoff with a 31-year-old Matthew Lathers. Lathers was wanted in connection with a Kenner shooting and a hold-up that left a 56-year-old in critical condition on Tuesday afternoon. Lathers is also the suspect in a double shooting that was reported at the same location early on Sunday, Cunningham said. Kenner police said that 2 men were wounded in the shooting, 1 critically. The wounded officers were transported to hospital, according to the police chief, but it's unclear in what condition. Local and Louisiana State Police were still at the scene at 4 p.m. where officers and SWAT team members gathered outside a grey house at the end of Farm Avenue near its intersection with Kenner Avenue. Damn it, Hayden. A SWAT vehicle was also parked outside the residence, and more SWAT members are gathered near Maury Street. There's a massive police presence going on, so let's get 50 to 60 people standing around. That's a good idea. Stood around a block away from the scene watching the events unfold. Some reported hearing gunfire with the last half hour and said police in the neighborhood had been in the neighborhood since early that morning. Was there a shootout with Hasbro?
Hi, this is Michelle Hunter with the Times-Picayune newspaper, NOLA.com. I am in the 700 block of Farm Avenue in Kenner, where the SWAT team is outside of a residence in the 700 block of Farm Avenue. We've heard from authorities that the suspect inside the residence, a man named Matthew Lathers, he's wanted in connection with an attempted murder earlier in the week. We were told by police...
Oh, screw that. I'm not listening to that for 7 minutes. As 4:30 approached, onlookers speculated the standoff was over after a group of SWAT officers appeared to enter the house. An ambulance approached shortly after, and authorities appeared to relax their posts. Sent your video of Jerry Nadler being driven to work. Is that supposed to mean something to me, Bush? Damn it. I hate that the messages pop up like that. He's living his best life. That's a lot of bacon. Oh, the suspension on that car. Oh, bloody hell. Tesla on autopilot got homicide charge. Yep. Got that right here. Self-driving Waymo spotted. Hang on, was this the one? No, this is a different one. Shit. Because I'm pretty sure I had the thing. A video making the rounds of social media shows a self-driving Waymo car bombing down the wrong side of a road in downtown San Francisco. Yet another glaring incident involving the company's vehicles acting unexpectedly. The footage shows the vehicle passing a group of electric-powered unicyclists. Oh my god, only in San Francisco. And scooters in the city's Mission and Market district last week. Another video shows the same event from a different perspective, with the Waymo car seemingly trying to overtake the unicyclists by overtaking the entirety of the oncoming lane. Fortunately, one of the unicyclists managed to get the vehicle to stop by getting in front of it. In a statement to the San Francisco Chronicle, Waymo argued that its robotaxi did the right thing by swerving into the oncoming lane. Per the company, the cab detected that there may be a risk to a person within that crowd who had fallen down and decided to carefully initiate a passing maneuver when the opposing lane was clear to move around what could be an obstacle and a safety concern. But was it really at the fault of the unicyclists that forced the vehicle to break the rules of the road? Would a human driver really overtake an entire opposing lane instead of simply slowing down and pulling over? Yes! I would absolutely overtake a bunch of unicyclists. Are you kidding me? How many people die before they outlaw self-driving? Won't happen. YouTube refused to let me name my account Crisp P. Bacon. That's funny. The video sparked a heated debate on Reddit. The guy literally stops in front of it and gestures to get it back in the lane, one Redditor wrote. Makes me wonder if the Waymo would have continued on the wrong side of the road if the guy hadn't stopped and got in front of it. Why put yourself in... Exactly, was that a thump? Why would you put yourself in front of a damn car like that? Like, I'm sorry. What the fuck is on his head, too? Oops, wrong button. Let me just have a quick look at this.
Waymo, you fool! Waymo, going the wrong way! Oh God! Watch out, Waymo! Waymo's going the wrong way! Waymo's going the wrong way! What the fuck? Holy shit, Waymo! That's kind of the wrong way, buddy.
Okay. Because I would argue that those unicyclists shouldn't be on the fucking road. It took evasive maneuvers to avoid what it thought would be a potential accident. I mean, didn't know motorized unicycles were road safe? No, I'm pretty sure they're not. These clowns should be forbidden on public streets. That'd make too much sense. Another video shows the same event from a different perspective, with the Waymo car seemingly trying to overtake the unicyclist by overtaking the entire lane. Okay, let's have a look at this. Like, firstly, don't get me wrong. It does appear that... Hey, Eric, dropping a $10 super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Look, should it be programmed to slow down and stay behind the obstacles if they're moving forward? Yes. Do I think that the obstacles should have been on the road? No.
Up Hayden and chat.
Do I think that it should have been a bunch of speed bumps? Probably. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think they're the ones that cause the issues there. More like Waymo. Huh. Why do I continue to drive? That's sort of my question. Like, I don't think that there's anyone in this situation that's in any sort of good standing.
Waymo, that's the wrong way!
Does Waymo know his name? I doubt it. And I love that they're bitching and moaning about it, and they're more than happy to just be in the oncoming traffic lane as well. Like, it very much shouldn't have crossed into the other traffic. But I mean, what? I don't know what the road rules are there. I mean, specifically, given that it's double line, in that circumstance, taking evasive maneuvers to avoid an accident wouldn't be that unheard of here, especially if the lines are broken. I mean, double lines here, no, you would absolutely have just had to slow down and wait behind the assholes. But, I presume it's against the law to cross double lines there. In a statement to the San Francisco, Waymo argued that the robotaxi did the right thing by swerving into the oncoming lane. It detected that there may be a risk to a person within that crowd that had fallen down and decided to carefully initiate a passing maneuver when the opposing lane was clear to move around what could have been an obstacle and a safety concern. Crossing into oncoming traffic is fine, but should have stopped. Okay. Saw this on an episode of Knight Rider. What, the unstoppable object versus the... What is it? No, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object? Is that the one you're talking about? Love that episode. About the only episode I ever saw, though. Was it really the fault of the unicyclists? Yes. Yes, it was. I think we can all agree the decision-making of the Waymo was not good. Another user wrote, I love Waymo and take it weekly, but it seems like a really aggressive and dangerous move by Waymo. Hope they learn from the incident. The run-in highlights the tense relationship between the company's robo-taxi services and the Bay Area residents. Waymo cars have caused plenty of mayhem on the streets, leading to close calls and other hazardous situations. Last summer, a vehicle ran over a dog, sparking outrage. Fuck. In February, one of its cars collided with a cyclist, triggering an investigation by the California DMV. How's it even a question? It's a good point. The unicycle shouldn't be in traffic. Nope. In December, the city of San Francisco filed a lawsuit against the state commission that allowed both Waymo and General Motors Cruise to run expanded driverless taxi services in the city. Many residents have seemingly had enough. In February, a Waymo driverless taxi was set ablaze by a furious crowd. Fuck off. That's inappropriate. Waymo's competitor Cruise has struggled even more following a high-profile crash in San Francisco that involved a Cruise vehicle dragging a pedestrian along the ground in early October. See, here's the thing. This is a prime example of what I have an issue with evolution of technology. People are so trapped in their little bubbles that they do not understand that there is always going to be a certain level of fuck up as things progress. Technology is not perfect, and when you're putting individuals in situations where there's a risk to their lives, it is inevitable that somebody's going to lose their life. That does not mean that you stop developing the technology. For example, what if they had cancelled all space travel after the Columbia disaster? What if they had banned cars after the first motor vehicle accident death? Aircraft history is a prime example. Yes. And more to the point, if and when they get down to working out whether or not, transporter technology or some shit like that is workable, you can't tell me that the first couple of things aren't going to have a hiccup. Someone's going to get turned inside out like Galaxy Quest. Like, tech got to mature with rules written in blood. Unfortunately, that's the long and the short of it. So, in short, despite user training data, autonomous vehicle companies still have a lot of kinks to iron out. Yeah, and they will for a long time. Do you want Terminators? Because how do you get Terminators? Are these just growing pains or a sign of a concept that self-driving taxis share the roads with human drivers is inherently flawed? No. I think it's purely just there's a hot... RIP John Denver? How about a cab company with human drivers, jobs? That could work. It's a contentious issue only bound to become even more heated as time goes on. For one, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is welcoming Waymo with open arms, indicating a significant expansion of the company's robo-taxi services on the East Coast in the not-so-distant future. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has also recently reiterated his promise of building out his own fleet of robo-taxis. Whether it'll fare better than Waymo or Cruise on public streets, needless to say, remains to be seen. Replace them with rickshaws. Good God. Oh. And we'll finish up with this one. British town placed on lockdown after a woman accidentally donates a live grenade to a heritage centre as the Army bomb squad experts are scrambled. A town centre has been placed into lockdown after a woman reportedly donated a live grenade to a heritage centre by accident, causing the Army bomb squad to rush to the scene. But did they call her a racist for it? Wait, no, she donated it. She probably handed it to someone of colour, so therefore they may class that as a hate crime and she may spend life behind bars. We don't need no stinking jobs. Oh, Biden will take care of us. Witness said the woman had handed items, including a potentially explosive relic from the Second World War, to a site in Darwin, Lancashire. They told the Sun that she'd unwittingly walked it into the Heritage Centre and inadvertently handed over a grenade with the pin still in it. Following the dangerous discovery, police evacuated a large area of the town centre and cordoned off neighbouring streets to allow bomb disposal experts to get to work. Just after 2 p.m, a large emergency response was in attendance at the incident, including police officers, firemen, and ambulance crews. Pictures from the scene show the commotion caused the town centre's central market to be completely abandoned during the usually busy market day. The square was being used for the crafty vintage market, held on the last Saturday of every month with tents and stalls set up, but they had to all be abandoned. But a woman at the Hendu across the road, at a Hendu. Do you capitalize the D on a Hendu? As like a stag do, a Hendu? Across the street, a lockdown pub told the Sun all the men in uniform were exciting. Oh, sweetheart. Even the bomb squad showed up and gave her a little wave. The Ministry of Defence confirmed bomb disposal experts from Catterick Garrison in Yorkshire were called to help. A spokesperson for the Ministry of Defence told the Mirror, "We can confirm that an Army bomb disposal team was called to Darwin at the request of the Lancashire Police. The item was safely moved to a safe distance and destroyed by demolition." Just after 5 p.m, police announced the lockdown had ended and the roads were reopened. While the lockdown was in place, residents took to X to share their shock at the unexpected turn of events. I don't really care what people had to say on X. Only in Darwin could someone innocently take a live hand grenade to a food festival. Well, good on her. Alrighty. Alright, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Where are we? As always, please remember, you are not a piece of shit. You have value and you do contribute to society. And look at that, we're almost 10% of the way with 12 days to go to Vegas. Who knew we'd actually be on the way? Appreciate it, people. Remember, you're not a piece of shit. You have value and you do contribute to society, especially for hitting that like button, double checking whether or not you're still subscribed because YouTube's doing their thing again. And as always, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I will catch you on the flip side. Cheers, peeps. See, people, that's how you do it. That was a brilliant credit screen. Catch you all later. Love you all. Bye.
This shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.